We're going to be talking about Megalomania, and we have the wonderful German VERGARA here, who is the guitarist, composer, producer, and writer of the concept for this video, so a person of many trades. And congratulations on being nominated for Best Music Video, Best Music-Related Film, Best Cinematography, and Best Sound. And the sound really does make this short film, this music video, come together. And so as someone who was heavily involved in the writing process and the concept, both for the film and the actual visuals, I would love to hear a little bit more about why you chose these specific visuals for the themes in the song.
Thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure. Hi, Tori. Hi, Mark. Hi, guys. Also, Daniel. First of all, yeah, I wrote the script, the story. I was inspired in a personal experience. I mean, because of a breakup. After a breakup in the middle of the pandemic, I wrote both the song and the script. I worked together with Bernardo, the director of the film, very closely. You know, I wrote the script, but I had the idea of the sort of film, the sort of cinematography. We talked about colors. We talked about how I wanted the city to be shown. And I'm so happy that I worked with him because he was so professional, ingenious, creative about showing this story. That it was a very hard story to tell about a polyamorous relationship, which is something very risky. You know, it can be vulgar if you don't do it well. So we worked in the script. I wrote the script, but I worked with him because it needed a visual, you know, work on it, of course, because it's not easy. It's a very personal song too. So I'm very, very happy about how it all turned out.
Yeah, as you kind of mentioned, it is always like a little risky to involve a polyamorous relationship in a film. And there's not like a lot of media dealing with polyamory. And I feel like this music video deals with it in obviously a very sexy, gritty way, but also with like a lot of love. And I would love to hear more about some of the choices behind showcasing polyamory in this theme.
Basically, the film is about a breakup, but I wanted to show a polyamorous relationship because I thought it was something modern, and I wanted to talk about discrimination as well, or intolerance. So it was interesting to show a non-conventional couple or triple. I don't know how you call it. So that was a decision because I wanted to talk about hedonism, about the city life we were not having during the pandemic. So I guess there was a desire of lights, of party, of music, of human contact. The decision about polyamory, it's because it's non-conventional, because there can be love, actually, love that cannot be understood by everyone, that should be respected. So that's why at the end of the film, there's a violent scene that we wanted it to be very strong, very shocking. After they go outside a disco, a club, some people start beating them, and it's pretty sad. But the story is also about breakup. So it's not only about violence, just like any couple, just like any human connection that can come to an end. In this case, it didn't have a happy ending, but it's a love story.
Yeah, and what incredible special effects during that fight you just mentioned. I was like, whoa, crazy, wild. I was wondering a little bit about the song itself and the lyrics. So I heard that the writing for this song actually started back in 2018, parts of it, yeah. And it's gone over the years. Can you talk about some of the changes that have happened to the song itself and how we ended up with this beautiful piece here?
Yeah, 2018. And the thing is that in the band, we had to break up with the singer. We had to start looking for a new singer, and that made everything even more difficult because we needed a new singer. We found a new singer, and then when we got to the studio to record, the pandemic came, and we had to, you know, reschedule. But I kept the recording in my home studio. I have this home studio. Some other sections, drums, were recorded in a different studio during the lockdown to write a nice story, an interesting story. And the lyrics, the lyrics were about breakup, basically about this thing that I had in my mind about, in all the lovers I kiss, I will always see your face, you know, because I had a very important breakup. I had lived with my girl for more than 10 years, you know, so it was very hard for me to break up and then being in a lockdown. So, and I wasn't able to go out and to, so it was about that, about the feeling that you will never forget that person that you loved, and also about feeling the void, the empty space with fire, and that's what the music video is about. So I connected that part of the lyric, let's fill this void with fire, and the video is about that fire. So about this almost self-destructive way of dealing with emptiness.
Yeah, you can definitely feel that like sense of pain and rage that comes with the breakup through like a lot of the lyrics. So it makes a lot of sense. And it's even making me think about the fact that your band lost a member and then came back together. That's a breakup in itself. Yeah. And so it also kind of goes with the themes of the music video and having these people tear it apart but then brought back together and all that fun stuff. So with that in mind, this like both the music video and the song itself are kind of a departure from some of the previous songs and music videos that your band Isles has had. So what would you say this song represents for Isles moving forward?
I think it's the most important project we've been involved. We've always wanted to connect music with images, you know, with film. It's something that very early when we formed the band, we had that dream, but we didn't have the budget, we didn't have enough followers to do it. So I think I fulfilled my dream of connecting music and films. I love that. I've always loved, you know, artists, musicians that do that, like ReelHeART has always, for example, had a very well thought videos, very visual approach. So, and when I was a kid, I didn't know if I wanted to be a filmmaker, a writer, or a musician. So I guess in a way I'm ending up being the three, because I write the lyrics and I produced this video and wrote the script. So I'm very happy for this, for sharing what I feel through music and through images as well.
Is there any chance we will see these characters pop up in future Isles music videos?
You never know. Interesting, you know, interesting, because I have never thought. I think you just gave me an idea, you know, of developing the story a little more. I love the work of this, you know, actresses and the actor did a wonderful job, and it's all so beautiful that it might be a good idea.
There you go. Well, I'll keep an eye out for that.
With all that chemistry in the polyamorous triangle, love triangle, had they worked together before? They seem to have incredible chemistry.
They hadn't worked together. Only the director had worked with Geraldine, but because of the intimacy, the director was very careful, meeting them first, talking about the script, and during the casting process, we had to even change some of the first selections because of the, you know, the nature of what they had to do, you know, develop a very credible love triangle. So they hadn't worked together, but they did get together more than a couple of times to talk, to relax, so that they would feel comfortable. It was so important that it didn't feel forced. When we did the shooting of those scenes, only the director with one cameraman, it was like a very intimate. I told the director, I was the producer too. I don't want to be there because I want them to feel relaxed. So that had to work. You know, they had to be comfortable with each other. So it was a very important thing that we had to be very careful.
Has Bernardo ever directed any other Isles videos, or is this his first one?
It's the first video clip. He shot one of some live songs that we have in the studio, and I actually met Bernardo because a friend of mine who also works in the film industry recommended him to me. So he worked with us in that live from Studio del Sur. If you want to check out in the internet, check out Isles live from Studio del Sur. So he shot those 3 live songs and I loved the cinematography and his professionalism. I have to work with this guy again.
Or are you actually going to go and expand and maybe make a full short film?
Yeah, I think concept videos is what I feel more enthusiastic about, you know, to doing concept music and uniting that with videos, with images. It's something that I really love. And we released Fast, first single, which is an animation video, and we also did Thanks to Kafka, which is also a concept video. And Megalomania was like our biggest bet or biggest challenge. My favorite song, I think it's my favorite IELTS song so far.
What have you learned about yourself through the making of your film?
I think I learned about really expressing what I feel. I think before I wrote about more abstract ideas, and for the first time I wrote about what I was experiencing. So I wrote more about my life. I think I defeated a sort of mechanism I had of not really talking about what I was feeling, about my experiences. So I think I learned about that, about telling my stories, you know, even if they're personal and even if it's hard to talk about your experiences. So I think that was a very, very important step for me as an artist.